Hi everyone, this is Amber from Dolls of Amber, and today I'm back with a new doll video. In my previous video, I talked about creating a new series here on this channel, which is the main Pop Girl line, and today we're gonna add a new celebrity in this line. I already made her before, but she is one of my earliest works, and I've already sold her since then. We are making Lady Gaga, or Zombie Gaga. I know Mayhem just released 2 or 3 weeks ago, and making a Gaga doll from this new era is more appropriate. But Zombie Gaga, or this look from Born This Way, has been on my remake list for quite a while now. This is my favorite look of her, and I love that Monster High chose this look as inspiration for their doll. Although I do want to do my own spin on this character, so she's gonna be a little different from the official doll. I'm really excited to show you guys how she turned out, so without further ado, let's get started. For my base, I'm gonna use a G3 Clio body with a G1 Spectra head. Initially, I wanted to use G3 Spectra for this custom, but it was taking too long for her to go on sale on Amazon. And since I had this extra Clio body and this Spectra head in my stock box, I decided to use this instead. First, I'm just cutting off the hair. I don't know which line the Spectra came from, but her hair is saran, so it's not the basic one. It was a little gluey and disgusting. Cutting her hair and removing all of the stubbles from the inside was not fun at all. I got the Spectra head from a friend of mine, and according to them, they use it to practice their repainting skills. So she is a little stained and discolored, but we'll fix that later on. I also found that there was something obstructing from the inside. So with my X-Acto knife, I performed a lobotomy on this head. I removed the hair from the inside first, and as you can see, it's so disgusting. There's a big chunk of hair coming out. I also found the culprit, and it's a broken neck peg stuck inside. I'm just cleaning her face now with some pure acetone. I gave it a good wipe, and now to fix the slit on the back of her head, I'm just using some liquid fusion glue. I'm gonna put a generous amount, and I'm gonna let that dry overnight. Moving on to the body, I am gonna paint this white, but before that I need to sand the body down to prep it for the spray paint. This just adds a grittier texture to the skin, making it easier for the paint to adhere to. I should have also took the moment to sand down the mummy wrappings, but I'm way too lazy to do that, and I know it's gonna take a lot of hours to do that. If I had a Dremel tool, it might have been easier, but since her body's gonna be covered up anyway with the outfit later on, I think it's gonna look okay. I primed the body first with Boston Flat Clear. I'm also using this later on to seal the body paint, but for the paint itself, I'm using Boston in Flat White. This is their primer color, and I'm just gonna cover up every part of her body. I let that dry for 24 hours, and then I sprayed it with Boston Flat Clear to seal in the paint. I also used some watered down matte Mod Podge to further protect the paint. And now I'm just adding on the details for her body. With some black pastel, I'm just putting that on her neck and her chest. I'm also putting that on the back of her hands. And I'm just painting on her bone details like her spine and her rib cage. I'm just painting on the bones of her fingers. I honestly love how these turned out. They look really cute. And I'm surprised with how it looked like on the hand with the mummy wrappings, because it doesn't look too bad. Now I'm just adding in her name on her fingers, since this was also present in her original doll. In her left hand, I'm just writing Lady, and then on the other, Gaga. And this is what they look like after. Moving on to her face, I spray painted it white as well, since I was unable to remove the staining. With my mechanical pencil, I'm just sketching out the face. This is what the final sketch looks like. And now it's time for paint. I'm just using my Derwent Inktense color pencils. I'm just going over the sketching that I made. Once done, I'm just cleaning up the lines with some white paint. I'm just making sure everything is clean and sharp. I mixed up some red, black, and white to create the shadow for her eyes. and I'm just painting that on top. For the eyes itself, I'm using salmon as the base color. I just mixed some red and white for this, and to give it some dimension, I'm adding some red on the top. For the highlight, I'm using some pink, and I'm putting that below the pupil. With some pink powder, I'm just putting that on her lips. With a fan brush, I'm just cleaning off the fallout, and I'm just building up the color. Now I'm just going over the lines again with some black acrylic paint, just to make it really black and bold. I'm finally painting some black for her pupils, and you can see that it's already starting to look really good at this point. Now with some black pastel, I'm putting this on top of her eyes, and I'm gonna leave the lid for now. I'm gonna add some purple on that later on. I'm also adding this under her eyes and below her cheekbones. Off camera, I sealed it with a layer of MSC, and I build up the powders even more to make it more opaque. Now I'm just adding highlights on her eyes. I'm adding a ring of really light pink under her pupils, and now I decided to add the purple on her lids. Going back to the highlights, I'm adding a line of light on the lower corner of her eyes, just doing the same thing for the other eye. And I'm just adding a dot on the upper side for the catch lights. Because we added some black pastel, her eyelashes are a little harder to see now. So for that, I'm just adding some white to highlight them. I'm also doing this on her bottom lashes to emphasize them. Decided that her teeth or her lips also needed the same treatment. For the finishing details, I decided to add some veins. I think you can also perceive this as cracks on her face. I'm adding this on the sides and her forehead. To add some color on her face, I'm adding some purple on the same parts where I added the veins. It's pretty subtle but adds a lot to the face up. And that's it for her face. I think I did a pretty good job. I think she looks so much better compared to my first Gaga custom. Off camera, I sprayed this with a final layer of MSC. Moving on to the hair, I'm gonna give her nylon hair in 3 different tones. I'm using a platinum blonde color, a peachy pink, and a cool tone pink. I'm gonna blend them all together to get it as close as possible to the original doll's hair color. I'm also gonna keep it long since I love dolls with long hair. I'm just gonna show you guys a small portion of the rerooting process since it's pretty repetitive and boring. But just like before, on all of my other videos, I'm just doing the knot method for my reroot. I'm gonna do this for 2 days so I wouldn't feel burnt out compared to if I do it in one sitting. After that's all done, here is what she looks like. I made sure to leave in some hair for her bangs, and I just put everything in a high pony. I gave her bangs a quick boil wash, and it's time to cut them. Before that though, I decided to add some glue inside of her head first. I'm just using Uhu glue, and I'm gonna spread that around inside with a Q-tip. The Zomby Gaga original doll didn't have bangs on her, but I was referencing the Born This Way music video, and if you look closely, Gaga has bangs in it, and I prefer this look compared to the original one. I'm just cutting the hair some more. I'm gonna make it as short as possible. It also doesn't matter if it's not even, it just adds to the look. Time to style the rest of her hair. We're back to my usual setup. I'm just using the smallest barrel for my curling wand, and I'm just gonna curl all of her hair in her ponytail. This is what her hair looks like after. Not gonna lie though, it did fall, and I did have to recurl it before I took her photos. What I did differently though is I added some curling mousse and hairsprayed her hair so the curls would stay. If I do another curling video in the future, I'll make sure to add that in so you guys can see how we did it. But for now, this is the first attempt in curling her hair. Now I'm just taking a piece of hair from the back. I'm gonna split it in half, and I'm gonna wrap it around her ponytail. Grab a piece of rubber band, and I'm just gonna tie that in place. Make sure to tie it tightly, and this is what it looks like after. Moving on to the outfit. Like I said, I wanted to give her a different outfit from the original Zombie Gaga doll. So for this version, instead of pants, I'm giving her panties. I cut out 2 pieces for the panties, and I'm just gonna sew them together from the bottom. I hemmed the leg openings with some glue. Now I just need to sew the sides and hem the top. Now for her top. I wanted to use this glittery fabric that I have lying around in my stock box. We're gonna do a bikini top. I made a lot of versions of this top before, and I thought it would be fitting for Gaga's new look. For the strap, I'm just using a black ribbon, and I'm gonna add some metal details on it. I lost the footage of me actually making the top, so I'm really sorry. But this is what it looks like. I just need to sew on the strap and add the snaps for the closure. Now for the coat, these are all the pattern pieces I'm working with. It's a little hard to explain, so I'm sorry. I was doing a lot of trial and error while I was attempting to do this coat. I was feeling a little ambitious and I wanted to add the spikes on her shoulders. I don't really know if it looks good in the end, so I'll just leave that to you guys. And this part, I'm just sewing the lining for the front pieces. This is what it looks like after. It looks like I've already sewn the back to the front pieces as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and connect the sleeves. Once I've connected the sleeves, it's time to sew up the sides. I'm going to give her wrist cuffs. And for that, I'm just using these elastic ribbons. It's pretty simple to make. I'm just going to sew it. It should look something like this. I lost a lot of sewing footage. I'm really sorry. But basically the outfit is all done. Now I'm going to show you guys how I made her nails. I'm just using some liquid fusion glue. And I'm going to adhere my pre-made nails one by one. These nails are just made of air-dried clay. I shaped them into tiny teardrops. Whenever I'm doing this, I always make sure to be really focused and just to take my time, since this involves a lot of finicking, to make sure that the nails are placed or positioned correctly on the fingers. Once that is dry, I'm gonna go ahead and paint over them. I'm just using a black marker. You can of course use acrylic paint for this. I just think using a marker gives you more control. After doing this, I'm gonna gloss it up to make sure that her nails are shiny. And we are finally done, and I'm just really happy with how she turned out. I've already recurled her hair. The curls are much more tighter now, and they look really beautiful. I gave her these cross earrings that has a black gem on the middle of it. And as you can see, I gave her Core Refresh Draculaura's collar. I just added a charm on the middle of it. To keep her shoulder pads upright, I've added some pillow stuffing inside of it. And I know it doesn't look perfect, it's a little wonky and lumpy, but I think it looks fine. Let me know what you think. Here's a close-up look of her top as well. I love how my ribcage painting on her chest is exposed. It just adds a lot to the design. Her stockings are also from Core Refresh Draculaura. And these beautiful boots are from Rainbow High. I think it's from Fantastic Fashion Jade. I love these so much, they're so Gaga coated. It looks like shoes she would actually wear in real life. I'm definitely gonna get more of these in the future. This is what the coat looks like in the back. I purposely made it longer. I just feel like it looks better this way. For her bag, I'm using this LOL OMG bag. I'm not sure who this came from. I just feel like it matches her aesthetic, so I gave it to her. I'm also giving her G3 Spectre's glasses. These are just perfect for her as well. I also left her lips matte because I think it looks better this way. And I think overall she is definitely a step up from my first Gaga custom. This Gaga has been one of my earliest works, and I knew that I always wanted to recreate her with my updated skills. I think I was able to achieve that. What do you guys think? Now I think it's time for her glamour shots. Thank you for reaching this part of the video. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe so you can see more from me. You can also follow me on my other social media platforms. I'll have them listed down below. I am gonna keep this Gaga doll, but good news, I did make another one. She is sporting her original look, but with the same hair and face up. If you're interested in purchasing her, she is for sale. For more information, I'll have her posted on my Instagram highlights, so make sure to check that out if you're interested on purchasing her. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys again next week. I love you guys. Goodbye and take care.